A complaint against a company quickly turned into a potentially violent situation while one man threatened to shoot up a downtown Spokane office and how police caught up with him.
I mean, what does it feel like? It's like I've been deserted. Man, I'm innocent of this, I really am, and I've been deserted.
That 72-year-old man has been sitting in the Spokane County Jail for more than 2.5 years waiting for a court date. He finally just took his first big step to freedom.
Tracking another dry day for much of Tuesday, but a lot of wet weather later this week. All the forecast details are coming up next.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. I'm Jane McCarthy. Breaking in the last few minutes, Spokane County Sheriff's deputies are searching for an 11-year-old girl.
Cynthia Hernandez was last seen this morning on Woodruff Road walking to school. If you see her or know where she is, you are urged to call Crime Check. That number is right there at the bottom of your screen. We'll
keep you posted on that. In the meantime, a bizarre case out of Spokane's jail is finally coming to an end. An inmate in his 70s who sat in jail more than 2 years now waiting for his case to be heard has finally taken a plea deal.
Records show his public defenders kept quitting on him, but tonight there are new developments in his case. As KREM 2's Taylor Vito reports, the man recently took a deal after getting fed up with the legal system.
This inmate says he's not only ready to move on, he's definitely ready to get out of jail. But still, he says that doesn't change what he argues are missteps that were taken by the public defender's office.
So they offered me a deal and I took it. You know, I just got tired of being in jail. Simple as that.
William Mitchell has been wearing a jail uniform for over 2.5 years now. And finally, there's a resolution in his case.
I finally settled for a deal.
Mitchell landed in the Spokane County Jail back in 2017 after a robbery in a Walmart parking lot. Records show he was the alleged getaway driver, but Mitchell says he never agreed to be part of the crime. He said he simply agreed to drive a friend to the store in exchange for drugs.
Now, keep in mind, I had no willing or intentional part of this. I gave a guy a ride. He got me high for giving him a ride.
But then his case appeared to languish within the legal system. According to court records, Mitchell's trial was pushed back over 20 times because his public defenders kept quitting. Documents blamed a, quote, revolving door at the public defender's office and attorneys there who leave for other jobs.
Man, the judge should have never let that happen, man. Me going for 33 months and all the public defenders, none of them are ready to take it to court.
Records show that Mitchell entered a guilty plea last week. As part of the deal, he says he was given just over 5 years in prison, but he'll get credit for time served, Mitchell says, and could be out on parole sometime next year.
But that still don't negate what they did to me, man.
He adds that once he's out of prison, he's considering filing a lawsuit against the county. That's all up in the air for now. But what's for certain, though, is that once he's out, Mitchell says he's ready to work on a book about his time as a tattoo artist. He's also ready to see his wife.
And her hair's turned all white, you know, but that's all right. She's still my baby, you know.
I did reach out to both the public defender's office and the Spokane County prosecutor for comment on Mitchell's case, but nobody from either office immediately responded to me. Mitchell says he's set to be transferred to prison sometime later this week. Outside the Spokane County Courthouse, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
In other news, the trial for a teenager accused of threatening to shoot students at Lewis and Clark High School is being pushed back. According to court documents, Ryan Lee's new trial will be in January.
A Spokane County judge threw out the teen's confession last month. Lee's attorneys argued his confession was not legally obtained.
Spokane police arrested a man they say threatened to shoot up the downtown Spokane office where he used to work.
And the threats were credible enough that that business sent all of its employees home for the day and brought in extra security too. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley joins us live with more on the threat and the person behind it. Amanda?
Regis Executive Suites told its employees on Friday to not return to their offices here at the Wells Fargo building today. And that's because 41-year-old Chesed Johnson threatened to shoot them, and he is a former employee here. According to Spokane County court documents, Johnson was fired from the Spokane branch of Regis after he sexually harassed a female coworker. The branch manager told investigators that coworker filed a protection order against the suspect. That incident is why he believes the suspect had motive to hurt employees. Documents say the suspect called the company's customer service line on Friday, demanding to speak to the manager or that he would start shooting people. That call was recorded. Documents included a transcript of that call from Johnson, who says he worked for a federal prison time consultant at the Regis offices. The suspect claims he's been harassed by the company, threatened with sexual harassment charges, and to be kicked out of the office. He says he filed a complaint against the company and submitted a Google review the company is suppressing. He continued threatening to shoot employees at the Spokane offices and swore he would gun down the entire Regis headquarters in Dallas, Texas. The suspect added he was glad the call was recorded because he wanted the police and the media to know. Spokane police were able to track Johnson down and arrest him on Friday. And today I did go up and check on the Regis offices to see if they stayed closed today, and it turns out they were in fact open, and that's because they had a security officer on site today. Reporting in downtown Spokane, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you. And we're starting out the week on a good note weather-wise. Rain showers, though, expected to move in.
Yeah, meteorologist Tom Sherry standing by with the Weather Center and more on the wet conditions. Tom.
Yeah, I think it's going to get wet towards the last half of the work week and into the weekend. In the meantime, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. 55 degrees under mostly sunny skies. You can see the barometric pressure holding steady right now. Day planner forecast calling for a chilly night with a low of 34, but we stay above freezing. Partly cloudy tomorrow, becoming mostly cloudy by about this time tomorrow night. Slight chance of showers, but I really don't think it's going to be much. I think really our rain is on the way more for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe even into Sunday. You can see the weekend forecast right here. It looks like it'll be wet on Saturday, and temperatures staying above freezing for the overnight lows. Lingering showers expected on Sunday. I'll spell out the rest of the next 7 days with your extended outlook coming up in a couple of minutes.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. A retired soldier who was injured while searching for Bo Bergdahl has died. Sergeant Mark Allen died this past weekend from complications of a gunshot wound he sustained while serving in Afghanistan. That left him unable to speak and paralyzed over much of his body.
Bergdahl walked away from his post in Afghanistan in 2009. He was captured by the Taliban and held for 5 years. Bergdahl served no prison time for abandoning his post and endangering military members who searched for him.
A police officer in Texas resigned today after shooting and killing a woman as she looked out a window of her home.
The Fort Worth police chief says he planned to fire Aaron Dean, but received his letter of resignation before that could happen. City leaders there asked a third-party panel to investigate the Fort Worth Police Department. Dean could still face criminal charges.
Tatiana Jefferson died Saturday. A neighbor called a non-emergency police number asking officers to check Jefferson's home. The neighbor said Jefferson's front door was open at 2 in the morning.
Guilty? Because had I not called the Fort Worth Police Department, my neighbor would still be alive today.
A body camera video shows Officer Dean walking around to the back of the house where he sees Jefferson through the window. She was playing video games, it turns out, with her 8-year-old nephew. The body cam footage shows the officer did not identify himself as police before opening fire. Today, Fort Worth leaders are responding to that shooting.
A mother, a grandmother, a sister, an aunt. I can't imagine anything worse, and I'm so sorry.
On behalf of the men and women of the Fort Worth Police Department, I'm so sorry for what occurred. You, Tatiana's family and friends have my apologies, my condolences, and my prayers.
The FBI is now looking into this. The U.S. House is moving forward with its impeachment inquiry into President Trump.
Today, investigators are deposing another former White House administration official, Fiona Hill. Hill is President Trump's former Russia expert. Analysts expect Hill to talk about the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Giuliani is suspected of running his own policies in Ukraine outside of the usual channels. This prediction aligns with the Justice Department's investigation. They're looking into whether Giuliani violated foreign lobbying regulations.
Evacuation orders in Southern California are now lifted as fire crews work to put out the Saddle Ridge wildfire. About 100,000 people had to flee their homes, and some will not have a home to return to.
At last check, about 31 structures were destroyed in the fire. One person died, and a second wildfire burning in the area ripped through a mobile home park. 76 structures in that neighborhood are a total loss, and a second person died in that fire. The Saddle Ridge fire is about 43% contained tonight, but high winds are posing an extreme fire risk.
Fire crews in Idaho are preparing for next year's wildfire season. The Bureau of Land Management released a fuel break project plan. Once finalized, the plan would be used in parts of Idaho, Oregon, and Nevada. One preventative option listed in the plan includes creating 1,500 miles of fuel breaks. Those breaks would be along major roadways. Fire crews would make sure the fuel breaks were about 400 feet wide, and BLM leaders say creating fuel breaks that big would provide a lot of defensible space.
Well, bison are back at the Badlands National Park in South Dakota. The World Wildlife Fund released this video, and you can see 4 bison running out of a trailer and into snow-covered plains. They're trying to scare them away there.
Yeah.
The area of the park was recently purchased thanks to $750,000 in donations. So bison have not roamed this area for nearly 150 years. Now those animals have 80,000 acres to explore.
Pretty cool right there. Wow.